Hello there, I'm Francisco and my partner is Al. And, and this time we're going to be talking about the individual learning difference in a second language. We're going to analyze the answers we obtained from an interview we made to our partner of us. We're going to identify the difference that characterize her, also the ones that facilitate her to learn Italian, and also the ones that prevent you from learning Italian successfully. At the end, we're going to make some suggestions or pieces of advice to her in order to improve her weakness. So let's start by highlighting the importance of making this kind of studies in taking language acquisition. I'd like you to express in your words, Elsie, what is important to study these
In this case,
characteristics.
I'm going to talk about learning attitude and learning style. For example, exist different ways to acquire a new language. In this case, the student has more or less 4 years studying Italian. We are going to describe and weakness and ability that she possesses. For example, she has a good memory to obtain to obtain vocabulary, and for example, she
Okay, I mean that would be one of her strengths. Yeah. Why don't we move? What do you think?
I think it's important because studying the relationship between cognitive and personality, because that helps us to interact with others.
Okay. As my partner say, there are three main points which it is important to study this individual difference in the learners. One is because in this way teachers can help her students with different kinds of activities for different kinds of students, because we have the students who are kinesthetic, those who are visuals, and the auditory ones. Also because it's important to understand the relationship that have the cognitive and personality variables in order to the learning experience. And finally, because of the benefits this gives us, for example, in educational, in teaching methods, in mobility, and so many social benefits that they provide us with.
Well, hello, my name is Maria Los Angeles. I am 22 years old and I am from the Department of Arts and Education. I have been learning Italian for about 4 years since I started that career.
Okay, I'd like you to identify the 6 differences we could find in Angeles. Thank you. Yeah, the questions we made here were about learning style, intelligence, learning attitude, also aptitude, also motivation, personality, things. The, in fact, there were motivation in classroom. That's another point. There were 6 of them, but also the book mentioned other. For example, the age is important in
believe.
the belief, learner beliefs, groups of association, and so on. But we're going to focus on those 6. I'd like you to explain 2 of them
Alright,
according to what she told us.
in personality, Angeles tells us that when she speaks, when she will do an oral presentation, she feels so nervous and she feels anxiety of making mistakes and the moment she speaks, and that prevents her to learn Italian. According to the author Robert Gardner, there's evidence that shows the positive attitude associated to the willingness to learn.
Yeah. They say that the most successful students are those who are curious to communicate, to use the language. They're willing to want to use the language. Yeah.
And the second is attitude. She tells us that she go to apps to study to improve her Italian, and you yourself make the goals.
To reach their goals.
That she wanna make, she wanna do. For example, if her want to do an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah, there is like a schedule in the app, and she also told us that if you don't go into the app is sending you one and again notifications until you go in there and accomplish with the goal, with the one you set before entering them. Okay. On the other hand, Elsie, I'd like you to explain those about related with learning style and
learning aptitude.
Could you tell us something?
Yes.
What you told us?
Under first learning aptitude, we can find one of the most important learner, is John Carroll. In terms for aptitudes, he say for example, the ability to learn a new language, like memorize, learning quickly, how in the brain the function roles of grammatical, or memorize different words, or has a association with the mother language. Learning aptitude has a relationship with motivation, because with motivation has no a goal definite. For example, in a student we can find more employment opportunities, better salary in a good job, better chances for a business, further understanding in a different country. For example, in the interview, Angeles said the interesting for travel around the world, or to acquire more.
I think so far it is okay, but let's highlight the difference between attitude and aptitude. Aptitude with P have to do with innate talent we've got here in our minds, the ability to learn quickly something, and they have to do with physical or mental competence. Let's move to learning style. How she told us she likes to study. She likes to study Italian.
In this case, we have 3 different ways to acquire a new language. For example, visual learners, auditory learners, and the kinesthetic. And the first, the visual, like the word say, the student can learn in a vision, and the second, the auditory learner is specific in hearing, and the third in kinesthetic,
The ones we need to touch, experiment with the world.
Include both the visual and digital learner. And I will hold other different way of stretches to learn. For example, tactile. The student employ the hands to manipulate objects.
That's it, manipulate ostension, we call that ostension. We need to experience with the world, with the objects and things and so on. Thank you, Ceci. That's a very good explanation.
And I can find another perspective. For example, analytical, concentrate the information in a student, but the student don't like the information. And the other way is global. For example, exists the memorization and improvisation, but for a student it's not important take the rules of grammatical or different styles.
Okay. On the other hand, according to according to Howard Gardner, he said that intelligence is the performance we have on tests related with succeed in school. And he says that there are individuals possess many different kinds of intelligence. If you're not intelligent, you won't succeed in learning a language. That's false, because if you're not very good at when you work with memory, for example, you can improve, you can be a better student. But if you persevere, if you have that willingness to communicate, as I was telling you, according to Howard Gardner, there are many different kinds of intelligence. There are those people who are very good at playing an instrument, at singing, something like that. There are other persons that are good at making relationships with other people that we call interpersonal relations. And the athletics, the one that are very good at sports and so on. And finally, the one that concerns us is the verbal intelligence. That ability, that metalinguistic awareness you have to do at exams, at the study, and so on. And
it's like when you do an exam and you fail, but that doesn't mean you're not good, for example, in speaking or on an audition, in listening.
It has something to do with the weakness and the strength we have, because it might be that I'm good at listening, but I'm not good at writing, for example. And you might be good at writing, and he's good at speaking. That's it. That's the only thing. That's it. And according to these characteristics, she told us that before having an exam, he reviewed his notes, he practiced vocabulary. That's the way she prepares for an exam. Yeah, she told us, I look on the internet for what I didn't learn during the course, or I work with my partners and ask them to explain them to me, and so on. But let's move to motivation. Motivation, as Robert Gardner said, it's a complex phenomenon. It's a complex thing, because there are two factors of motivation. We have the learner's communicative and the learning attitude to the second language. That's why motivation, attitude, and aptitude are strongly related. You can't have motivation without aptitude or attitude. Okay, and there are two kinds of motivations. We have the instrumental one, that is the one you take for practical goals. For example, I'm learning Italian because I'd like to travel to Italy, maybe work in a company where I can use Italy. Yeah, the relation. That's what she tells us. And that's another point she told us. I decided to to learn Italian because of the similarity that exists between Spanish and Italian.
The structures are similar.
The structure in grammar and so on, also in pronunciation, because she told us she had to choose between Italian and French, I think in first semester, if I'm not wrong. And that's the motivation she has got, the instrumental one, because she has practical goals to travel all around the world and so on. And there is another kind of motivation, the integrative one, that have to do with personal growth. For example, I'm learning Italian because I like Italy, I'd like to go there, I want to go more about the Italian culture, for cultural enrichment. And according to Sultan Dorni, there is a model of motivation which consists in three phases. The first one, you chose a motivation, you set a goal. The second one, executive motivation, the tasks, the purposes you're going to make in order to reach that motivation, to achieve that motivation. And the third one is motivation retrospection, which is the student's evaluation and reaction to the performance. A good example could be, okay, I'd like to study German because I want to go there and know Berlin, for example, could be. That would be the reason for you chose motivation. For you choose motivation. The second one, I'm going to start going to German courses to at least acquire the basic elements for a beginner conversation in German. That would be the second phase. And the third one, okay, I'm going to enter in an intensive course German course, because the teacher inspires me. That's another point she told us. The teacher motivates me because she's very dynamic. You never get bored at your Italian classes, because the teacher plays an important role in motivation here, and motivation in classroom, because the kind of activity she providing with, she said the teacher put us in teams in order to practice dialogues and so on. What abilities do you possess to learn Italian? What are your strengths in Italian?
My strength in Italian would be that I have a good memory.
Oh, that's very. I think so far we have covered the 6 elements that characterize this girl. Why don't we talk about her strength? You mentioned one strength or one Angela's strength?
One of the strengths she told us is that her working memory.
Yeah, she said.
She's
I can retain information.
Learning words.
Yeah, another one, could you mention, please? Another
strength.
positive element.
For example, teachers or educators just have a different perspective to teaching. For example, if exists different elements of the visual, auditory, visual, kinesthetic, tactile, we found the better way to explain or teaching the student.
Yeah, it's okay. See, that's a good explanation. I think another Angela's strength would be that she never remains with the doubt. She asks for help.
Yes, she's managed.
She manages.
Self-managed.
She's self-managed. Ella es autogestiva. It's in Spanish, to learn what she didn't learn during the course, on her friends, on the internet, and so on. But I think the most important one would be that the teacher is a good motivator, she told us. Okay.
The classes are dynamic.
Right. To what extent the fear of making mistakes prevent you from speaking Italian?
The fear is a problem for me because I feel that maybe if I make a little mistake or if I don't pronounce a word well or everything won't have sense or I will just lose the thing that I really want to express. So it's a really big problem.
Yeah, I have that too.
But why don't we move to the weakness? What kind of weakness could you identify on Angeles?
Yeah, the weakness. For example, she told us the anxiety and then the stress.
Oh, yeah.
Me, when she
Especially when speaking.
especially in speaking, when she has to speak, she feels so she's stressed and anxiety.
Yeah, I think that would be the only
Weakness.
negative one, the only weakness we
That
found
we
in
found in
Angela.
her.
Yeah, she told us. When I know that I have to give an oral presentation, I get so stressed before giving it because of the fear of making mistakes, that insecurity. That's it. Finally, what recommendation would you give to Angeles?
For example, in my case, I acquire vocabulary from films, videos on internet,
Oh,
or
you say
is
visual,
speak,
visual.
yes, or
Okay. I think you're very
speak
visual. Are you very visual?
It's a
Kind
joke.
of.
It's a joke.
I'm
I
visual,
speak
she's
with
kinesthetic.
Italian girls or what?
Okay.
And
So you recommend her to look on the internet for videos, interviews, and movies.
Yeah.
Okay, with subtitles or even without subtitles. And you?
Well, for her weakness, I recommend that she socialize more
Oh yeah, that's very
in order to struggle with her fear to make mistakes.
Okay. Angeles, if you are watching this, I recommend you to get into groups of conversations. I recommend you to practice more your speaking Italian. For example, when you're in the shower, you can sing or speak to yourself. The people will say, "Oh my God, that girl's very crazy," but you really yeah, you're doing something to struggle with your weakness because a language you have to be very talkative. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this video, this explanation, and also for those learning that are beginning with Italian.
Or another language.
Yeah, you won't succeed if you don't practice. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. But finally, I'd like you to give us an advice to those people who are learning Italian.
Well, first of all, I think Italian isn't very difficult. If you really want to learn, what you have to do is practice a lot. If you have a weakness, for example, if you know you're not that good at speaking or listening, if for example listening, if you're not good at listening, search for audios and audios first. Maybe you're not going to start with native speaking, but with slow speaking, and then that's how you have to practice and practice.
You have to go through the stages. So
Yes.